Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Bulldog Breakdown. I am your host, James Levasseur, and with me in today's episode is my hockey coaches. We got head coach Steve Murphy. Next to him is his brother Charlie Murphy, and right down on the end there is Coach O.C. So I got some questions for you guys. I'm just gonna ask you right down the line each question. Depending on time, we might not get to all the questions, so it should be an easy interview today. So you guys ready to get started?
Yep, we're good to go.
Alrighty, so Steve, as the head coach, how do you set the tone for the team's overall culture and work ethic?
So I think we try to set it by having guidelines, talking to the captains, trying to see what the players kind of want in a sense of what they expect from the team, and then we try and go about making sure the rules, the guidelines, the way we play, the style we play, all fits into what we're looking for. This past year, it has been going really good. Every year is different, so we got to base it on the year, different types of players, kids, all that. But overall, main concepts are kind of always the same: playing the right way, playing smart, and being good teammates on and off the ice.
All right. Charlie, what's your strategy for working with players who may be struggling with confidence or mental toughness?
Yeah, I just think, talking to them individually is really key to that. Every single player makes mistakes, and I think, when you're in high school, it's easy to make a mistake and think the world's ending, and every single player, all three of us, make mistakes all the time. So just really reassuring that mistakes happen and learning from them and just building confidence from there.
Alrighty. And Coach O.C., how do you approach building leadership skills in players, especially when it comes to developing captains and alternate captains?
I think just affirmation, letting everybody know they're doing a good job. For captain's sake, just having them build up their teammates, be a coach in the locker room when not there, and hopefully do a good job.
Alrighty. And back to Steve. What do you prioritize when building team chemistry, especially in the early stages of the season?
That's a good question. We try and build it right from the get-go in the sense of trying to get everyone together, trying to be positive influences in the locker room, be supportive of each other, be good teammates. That's the biggest thing. You need to be a good teammate. You need to want to enjoy coming to the rink, enjoy coming to practice, enjoy coming to the games. We practice at 5 a.m. That's not easy. You have to make it enjoyable, and you have to stick together because it's going to be bad moments, good moments, and you got to stick together and make sure it's an enjoyable experience.
Alrighty. Charlie, how do you manage players who are on the edge of the lineup, or those who are working to break into the regular rotation, I should say?
Another good question. I think the most important thing is talking to them about what they're doing at practice and what they need to work on developing-wise. I think we've done a really good job of that. You see year to year the kids' growth from 8th grade to freshman to sophomore. So continue to talk to them. I think it gets easy to just talk to the kids that are playing a lot more, but it's really important to develop and build the confidence and the skills of those players that are on the edge of the lineup and what they need to work on to kind of break through.
Alrighty. And O.C., what role does communication play in your coaching style, and how do you ensure you're connecting with players on a personal level?
I think communication is huge. As coaches, I think we have an open door policy for kids to come up and talk to us about anything. In practice, I like to just keep it simple with the kids and talk about movies, shows, whatever they're watching. And I know a lot of kids have questions about my job, so we talk about that as well.
What's your favorite movie, O.C.?
That's a good question. We'll go with an old school on Boondock Saints.
Steve, how do you balance focusing on team strategy with developing individual player skills?
So, the key to any team strategy is to develop their skills. We all have team strategies in the way we want a team to play. It doesn't work that way. You have to base it on the way the kids are playing, what you can make, what can improve, what style the kids are playing, and that means we have to change our style. We have to adjust, and we're trying to teach everyone, develop them to hopefully eventually play in the style that we want to play, that will help win more games and get more competitive results.
Alrighty. Charlie, how do you keep players engaged and motivated, especially during the grind of a long season?
Yeah, I think it's, there's a lot of up and downs. Like you said, it's a long season, but the most important thing is reminding everyone it is a short season realistically. It's only 20 games, and, in a high school career, you're only going to play 80 to 100 games if you're lucky enough. So remind them that, it's a long season, but it's actually really short, and just keeping them motivated that every game matters. And I think our division this year is so clear. Every game does matter. All the teams are so even. So just reminding them of that.
O.C., how do you approach instilling confidence in players, particularly those who might be new to the team or are adjusting to a higher level of play?
I think it's just the affirmation, letting kids know they're doing a great job. When they're younger like that, just work on the simple things like passing, shooting, and just assuring them that they're going to get better with practice every time.
All right. Steve, what has been the most challenging moment for you as a coach, and how did you overcome it?
Honestly, it's probably seeing the look on the kids' faces after they make a mistake, or after, like, say we lose a game and maybe a kid, quote unquote, maybe costs a game, which is never the case. Not one kid ever loses a game. It's always a team effort. But seeing some of their faces afterwards and trying to get them to, hey, not worry about it. We all make mistakes. We're going to grow from it. You're a good player. You're going to move forward. It's one blip on the road, and just to keep working hard, move forward, learn from it, and you're going to get positive results the next time going forward.
Alrighty. Charlie, how do you approach helping players develop both their on-ice skills and overall hockey IQ?
It's another great question. You crushed these, man. Yeah, I think it starts in practice, in terms of just developing the players, working on the individual drills. One thing that we've really tried to do this year is do drills with a purpose, splitting up the Ds and forwards and really working on specific things that we see in the games. So hopefully developing those skills during practice, we'll then see it in the games and kind of show them that we're doing it for a reason, and it works off when, it does go well.
All right, and O.C., what's the most important aspect of team culture that you try to instill in the players, and how do you reinforce it?
Just hard work and having fun. I mean, it's all about these are the best days of your life, and it's all about having fun. If you're not having fun and working hard, then we're not doing our job. So that's all what it's about.
Good answer. All right, now I'm going to move on to the group questions. So you can just, however you guys want to answer it, passing the mic back and forth to answer these. It doesn't matter to me. So when evaluating a player's performance, what are the main things that you each look out for?
The number one thing I look for is the effort. If you have the effort, like I've said, mistakes are going to happen. You don't want it to keep happening, but it's going to happen. It's hockey, it's life. Mistakes are going to happen. As long as you keep trying, the effort's there, the back checking's there, trying to cover your mistakes, that's all that really matters. So that's what I judge the most, is the effort, the moving your feet, and how hard you're trying. And then hopefully the results will become more and more positive afterwards.
Effort was the first one that came to my mind too, but if I also had to add to that, I would just say being coachable. When you're talking to a player and, you're actually looking in the eyes and telling them what they need to work on, it's clear if they're actually resonating or listening. So taking what we say and being coachable and just developing anything that we're working on.
Just heart. As long as you have heart and you show your effort, I mean, we're going to notice that as coaches.
Alrighty, and to each of you, what makes a good captain? Like when you're thinking about who your captains are going to be for the next season, what are you thinking about when you're making that decision?
The one thing I'm thinking about is, one, they are in the conversation to be a captain because of what we've seen. So a lot of times captains are selected and then they change. They change their personality. They try to do too much. They want to be so good that they try too hard sometimes. And I think the number one quality in a captain is to be yourself. The more that you be yourself, the more that you'll have the kids look up to you. They know you're not faking it. So that's one of the main qualities, is they're a good teammate. People look up to them. They got to stay true to themselves and be a positive influence. Stuff's going to happen. You got to work your way through it. You got to be positive, and hopefully the kids keep learning from it.
Yeah, similar to that, I think we look for people that lead by example. It doesn't matter if you're the one talking the whole time in the locker room, but the one that's doing the right things off and on the ice, because I think the rest of the locker room will feed off that. So leading by example is what I would look for.
Yeah, I guess staying calm in stressful situations. It shows a lot. Excuse me. That so say like things got control in the game. You're not getting in there. You're not causing trouble. You're not getting extra penalties that aren't needed. Leading by example, stuff like that.
And then, what are some ways you foster a sense of accountability among your players, both to the team and to themselves?
Well, the number one thing for any hockey team is ice time. So people, I don't want to say mess up, but if you're not playing the right way, you might take a shift. You might get a shift taken away from you. You might get a short shift. The other thing is to always kind of make sure you tell the players that some games you might not have it. So some games you might not play that much, and then another game is a brand new game. You might play a lot more. So I would say probably the number one thing is taking away ice time and then talking to them, telling them why, keeping them aware of the situation and why they might be talking to or getting ice time taken away, all that.
Great answer, Coach. I would say communication as well. I think that's really important. Like, obviously, we have set guidelines, but it comes down to ice time and making sure that we're communicating on why they might not be playing or what may have happened that led to it, I think is really critical and stuff like that.
I honestly forget the question.
What are some ways you foster a sense of accountability among young players, both to the team and to themselves?
I think a lot of what they said is just there's going to be ups and downs in the season, ups and downs in your game, and just keep your head up and keep playing.
Alrighty. I do have two more questions for you guys. This one is for Coach Steve.
Here we go.
WRPS films the hockey games, and in between periods after the games, they do interviews. The past few games, DJ Rocco from Rockland has done the interviews. In the last game against Cohasset, we caught this. What's going on here? What's going on here with this?
Well, one, this is going to affect your ice time.
Okay.
Two, before the game, he asked to do the finger guns, and I kind of laughed and all that. I was like, let's see how the game goes. It was a good result. He had his gun all by himself. So I was kind of like, I can't let him be shooting by himself. Like, he needs another finger gun to kind of get going. The smile, I have no idea. And yeah, ice time is definitely getting affected because of this.
Coaches,
Yeah.
Do you got any comments on this?
Be careful what you say.
Yeah, no, I just found my new contact photo for my brother on my iPhone, so it's perfect.
Right. Everybody with a gun needs somebody with backup. And Steve was there for his buddy, and shows good. He's a good teammate.
And then my last question, which might be coming at a bad time
I
after
got more
that.
gray in my beard than I expected.
This question might be coming at a bad time. What's your thought about putting me on power play 2
On power play 2?
or 3?
Or right now with the finger guns, you might be on power play 4. Um,
From my sources, O.C. has called me a playmaker. From my sources.
Well, I mean, maybe you get a couple more goals in practice. Maybe you celebrate by like doing the finger guns in practice. And
Oh, I'm going to.
We'll see how it goes.
When I score my first goal, I'm going to come right up to the bench and do finger guns.
Yeah, let's see.
All right. Thank you very much, coaches. It was a very fun episode having you on the show. Appreciate you coming out, and good luck in the next game.
Thank you for having us. Hopefully we can do it again sometime.
All right. Thank you for watching this episode of the Bulldog Breakdown. It was a very fun episode. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow my social media. There'll be a link to my social media somewhere in the video. So, yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.